I really enjoy directing this show because the whole team's just been very open to my ideas, and at the same time, they bring in a lot of their own. And so oftentimes when we show up to shoot, all I really have to do is let them get going and then kind of adjust as need be, because they're such professionals the way that they are able to dig into their own characters.
It was vital that there be chemistry, not just between Kevin and Brandon, but between Kevin and Brandon and Leesa as a trio. And I always called them the trio.
Yeah, welcome to Job, guys. Dominick thinks he's a tough guy, and that's what he goes for. He's not afraid to throw a punch. He's not afraid to get hit, and that's how he wants to make his money. That's why he does the business that he's in. In my head, Dominick was the tough guy in high school, but he also did not like the bullies. He was sticking up for everybody else. He wouldn't let anybody get away with anything.
Dominick is a very confident character and probably the best at his job, but he's not perfect. He thinks he's a little bit more of a badass than he actually is. And you see him often getting kind of thrown out of his element. He thinks that something's going to be one thing, it turns out to be something else. Kevin always plays such stoic characters, and so we really wanted to try to dig in and make him a little bit more three-dimensional in this, which he was game to do. In fact, he was asking, he's like, give me more things to do. Let me kind of be different. Let me be unique.
I've known Kevin for years. I've worked with Kevin for years. I think we have a really good dynamic.
I love Kevin. I've worked with Kevin we've known each other for like 7 years. He's the hardest working human in the world. Even though he's like freaking Superman and looks super handsome, he's very funny and down to earth and super easy to work with.
At first, we had to find the chemistry, and it really didn't take that long. I like to use the term when you're acting sometimes, especially with your scene partner, you jump out of a plane and you just hope the parachute's going to work. And with him, you knew the parachute was going to work. To do a whole series with him was enjoyable.
What happened to your hair?
Having someone who's on his A game, it's been a lot of fun working with him. He knows what he's doing so well.
Dominick and Herman are a pretty funny duo. Herman is just so colorful and creative, and just you never know. He is clearly the wild card, the loose cannon, where Dominick's supposed to be the grounded and centered one, but there's still something off about him. You still don't know what he's going to do. In the sense, they're the good guys, but they're also kind of the bad guys, I guess you could say. I mean, they beat up people for money.
It's hunting time. I am getting very pissed off.
I play Herman. He's a character who has a big heart, wears his emotions on his sleeve. He wants to shoot people, have guns, do all the crazy stuff that he's grown up seeing in movies and bring that into his real life, while at the same time having really kind of a childish mentality to where he doesn't understand what that all actually means. So he's kind of a moronic superhero.
Don't touch my lollipop!
Herman has a lot of code names. Doesn't like his name in the first place, which is comical.
I hate that name. Nobody calls me that name.
It reminded me of when I was young, running around in the backyard with my friends. And that's kind of the essence of who this guy was.
It's funny because there's no way a character like this would be functioning or not in prison in real life. And it's such a delight getting to see just what Brandon does when the camera starts rolling.
Brandon is the most un-Herman character in the world. Super like, here's my pictures of my daughter, and super sweet and calm and collected. And then when it's action is like insane. He's just fun to watch.
Brandon's incredibly easy to work with. He's incredibly creative. He's down for anything that we needed him to do, whether it be jumping into a freezing cold pool or looking like an idiot during like a fight sequence where he's like flinging his hands all over the place.
He's more of a tough guy in the traditional sense. I mean, he's more of a Dominick in real life. Like, I wouldn't mess with Brandon. But then whenever he turns it on to Herman, it goes full character mode, and he absolutely nailed the character.
I really reached down and found my inner idiot. And within that, opened myself up to whatever came out of my mouth.
Don't do drugs unless you get them for free.
Which is why if you ask any of the other cast members, they never knew what I was going to say or do.
All right, let's kill him. Listen, here you fudge packer. You call this line one more time, and I will shove your credit card so far up your ass you will...
Job, guys. We got one. I play Janet. She is the secretary for the job guys, and she has just dumped her terrible boyfriend. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have an apartment, and she's basically desperate for any job, which is why she lands with these bozos.
I think that she sees that these guys actually have quite a bit of charm underneath this kind of insane exterior that they both have.
Janet is really kind of the in for the audience. She's really the one that's the best person out of everybody else in the show. Leesa is like just one of my favorite people. I think she's just fabulous as a person. I think she's got a great sense of humor. So much of her own charisma as a person translates so well to that character that it makes you want to root for her. It makes you want to see her do well. It makes you concerned when she's put in danger, and it makes you want to see her succeed.
I would literally put her in everything. If I need a funny female in it, she's our go-to girl. I'm very grateful that she said yes and she gave it her all.
She was very professional, always came in, always knew her stuff, always had creative ideas, was open to communication, and therefore a blast to work with. We've started finding little happy accidents and happy moments that made the project come alive. And there's moments all throughout, wish we had outtakes because we always made each other laugh at different points.
Hey, fellas. And lady. Your business just got an expansion. Let's talk about Frank. I always joke and say that Frank is really the hero of this story. He's just drastically misunderstood. Frank is a detective. He is corrupt to the core, very much loves what he does.
When you see Frank coming, you're just like, this guy.
Fuck. This fucking guy.
He's a cop, and he's a schmarmy cop. He wants to control us. So I literally hate him.
Can we just kill Frank?
Which is great, because working with Dave, I hate working with Dave. He's just a prick. No, I'm just joking.
And Dave's he comes and he brings it every single time on set, as professional as they get. And it's like, he's such like a likable guy in person. And then whenever he plays Frank, it's just like, I know that's my character that hates his character, but there's a little piece of all of us and all of it. And in the moment, I'm like, I hate this guy.
Frank and Dominick have such a combative, antagonistic relationship with each other that was really fun to play. Hopefully he felt the same, because I had a fun time as Frank just kind of picking at him.
He's a protein bar.
Dave was awesome to work with. I've always enjoyed working with him.
I love Dave. I've also known Dave for a really long time, and he's like one of the hardest working people I know, and is a really funny, sweet human.
He's probably the only character that gets a real monologue in this whole thing. The way that he writes Frank, it's just a lot of fun to see Frank chew up the scenery.
Definitely need some alcohol.
You need alcohol. Yeah. You're on a date with me. You guys the job dudes?
In the script originally, Maria was a little bit more of a femme fatale. What Alex really brought to it was a clumsiness that I think added so much humor and such another dimension to it, especially because you see her trying to be that sexy femme fatale and failing miserably at times to be able to do that.
Oh my God. Good day.
When it comes to like her sense of humor on screen, she's like a vaudeville actress. Almost like she's doing a bit of a jig in between lines.
Gotta alert the authorities. You're disturbing the peace in my pants.
She is so funny, so witty. She's just got like this fiery personality. There's like these ad-lib scenes where you just throw the camera on her and like, do what you do.
Boobs are gonna fall out.
Maria likes Dominick quite a bit, and she immediately makes this clear, much to Herman's chagrin.
She was great. She's pretty and she knows it, and she uses us. As you can tell, I'm still a little upset that she was into my brother and just totally treated me like dog shit.
Alex brought a different kind of charm to her that I think works so well.
Off camera, I was losing it because she was really funny.
She was around for so much of filming. She'd help with little things here and there. She'd take photos for us. She'd feed us lines. She would hold the microphone.
Alex had a knack for always finding the camera whenever she wasn't supposed to be on camera.
Trust that guy?
Oh.
It's all right.
Fuck that guy. I love it so much.
now I'm here.
Sara Choi, I've known her for years, always wanted to work together with her. She actually is a K-pop star.
And all the music that you hear from Kaye Andrews is really Sara's music. She does do K-pop music.
I love the idea of Dominick being a K-pop fan, just because it's so contrasts what you would immediately suspect.
If Dominick's going to be in love with anybody, let it be her.
You leave her alone!
Dominick ends up meeting Kaye, and Kaye is not what he would have hoped Kaye to be.
She brings this happy, positive energy to Kaye when the cameras are on, but then behind the scenes, she's actually pretty nasty.
Who gave you permission to speak?
She looks the part. She looks like a superstar. And she's so funny because she really is just the sweetest person. So to make her like the way that she is at that is pretty hilarious.
That is the antithesis of what Dominick had pictured their first meeting would be like.
Damn.
Well, I guess there's no accounting for taste.
Okay.
Can I just blow his head off his shoulders? Consider yourself entrapped.
I really liked the idea of the cleaning crew being female because they immediately, even just visually, set off a different vibe.
They're scary and they're intimidating. They take no crap and they sell it so well.
They do not like the fact that the job guys are infringing on their territory.
Tarniesha and Jessica play the girls in the cleaning crew, and they were just so game for everything. And a lot of what they ended up doing with the physical action and even the way they were holding the guns, a lot of it was new to them. And Tarniesha was really great at receiving direction.
Not yet.
Not
yet. We need the other one. Sorry.
I loved Tarniesha. Her little quirk was she didn't like cursing.
When Tarniesha says, "Watch your language," she like stomped her foot every time she said it, like a pissed off parent.
Watch your language!
Jessica's character was also equally so much fun that she liked to piss her off by cussing.
Again with this bullshit? Stop!
She's like a supermodel. She looks like one of the Bond girls while also still being like a Bond villain somehow.
Jessica was just so game to try anything, and they had a lot of fun with it.
You all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I loved Jessica when she tore up the poster, just like her facial expressions.
And Jessica's so funny. She's like, I want to go jump over that railing to get away. And I was like, it's like tile floor and you're on like platform shoes or something, or dress shoes. Like, I don't think that sounds like a very good idea. She's like, come on. And I was like, all right.
I've never seen such dumbfounded looks of them looking at me when my character would do anything. And it was so hard sometimes to keep my composure with how honest they were playing the moment of my stupidity.
Cover them while I pat them down.
I think I'm gonna like this. They would come and pull long hours, do stunts that, they hadn't really done before.
Flash!
They were always in for it.
Boom! Side chick gets side swiped.
I think we're gonna have a great future together.
Finally, the big director cameo that we've all been waiting for.
Dwight?
D-Dawg.
That's right.
The idea was that he would be kind of like the job guys, except he's trying to get in the rideshare business. He and I had gone back and forth a little bit on figuring out what the personality of Dwight would be.
I thought, how funny would it be if he was just overly involved in like the date that Dominick and Maria go on.
We wanted Brook to have a role and appearance in the show.
I like to play a part or at least cameo in everything that I make.
Whenever he showed up as D-Dawg, it was so much fun to do that with him.
Brook has an affinity for wearing wigs when he's playing roles. The dialect and all that was all Brook.
I'm pretty sure it was like 2 days before we shot it that I was like, what if he had like a bad East Coast or like a Boston kind of accent?
You've just appealed to my inner romantic.
Hey, what's going on with you guys? You going on a date or something? I don't know if I'm good at accents.
This is great.
We changed the finale around quite a bit, and so I was on camera a lot more than I realized I was going to be, and I had to keep up that accent. My buddy Chris came over and was very helpful. He shot all the scenes where I'm on camera in the car.
Brook's character, he really comes in ready to help out these idiots who are doing these shootouts and everything else, and he's down to play.
You know, me and Brooke getting to just be in a scene together. It's a lot of fun. It was the first time that we had ever done that as collaborators. He doesn't hold back. He goes full character, which was great. And he's just going on and oh, so funny. Like, it was like, I think it got me a couple times.
Like, to him, it's incredibly unethical to do anything less than your absolute best effort at any given time, and anything less than that is unacceptable. And that is so incredibly rare.
I played 2 other parts in this show as well. I play the last thug that gets killed inside Andre's house.
Brook, cameo.
I get shot by Brandon. Hopefully you don't know it's me when you see it. And then I voiced the orange puppet in the puppet show, and I straight up did a Zoidberg voice for it. Thank you for having me on the show, Felton. I brought in 2 of my friends from Oregon, Aaron and Ike, and the 3 of us did the puppet show. But there's not that many Muppets on OK Cupid.
You are accurate. Have you ever tried Joanne's fabric?
What?
I heard there's plenty of sweet carpet there.
Ooh. You watch your mouth, my friend. My family is from Joanne's Carpets. Fabrics.
Joanne's Fabrics. that's where Growler's from.
My family's made of carpets.
Acting in this show was actually a lot more intimidating than I thought it was going to be, because everyone else that was involved is a real actor, and I'm not a real actor.
One of the super cool things about this project is I get to work with my friends for the most part. I work with so many talented people, going to classes over the years, working on set. You always have those people that you run into and you say, boy, I'd love to work with you again. Wish we would work on something. This was an opportunity that I got to really bring in people that are not only really great actors, but also good people, our friends.
Ben was great. We kind of tried to make him look a little bit creepy to fit the role. But having Ben was just fantastic. And Ben also doubled as our sound guy for a lot of production.
Charles Chutabala, who's just so funny. God, I must have been in like 10 movies with that guy by now. And he's just always game. Like, what do you need? What do you want? What do you got? He did sound for part of the days. He's like, hey, I'm here. What can I do to help? And that's just the type of guy that Charles is.
He's a really good actor. He's a really funny guy.
He just takes off running and runs for days.
He's still running somewhere.
That always gets the biggest laugh to anyone I've shown the trailer to.
You talk about committed, you know?
Black Darius, help me!
Michael, Raymond, and Robert. White Darius, played by C.J. Marinan.
That was probably one of the most fun episodes for me.
Everyone there brought something unique.
DM Harrison, it was great. All the lines were improv.
I really liked that guy.
The fights were fun and safe. Bona fide stuntmen, really good at what they do.
Robert and Brandon, they're coming up with the stuff on the spot.
Me and Robert came up with this quick little thing, trying to hold true to character. We needed to make it a back and forth, but at the same time, we needed to put some comedy into it.
Me going outside with Raymond's character, Andre, it was really funny. Me and Raymond have worked together several times before doing stunts. We fought plenty of times on camera. He's a gymnast. He could do flips, he could do twirls, and I can't do that.
Mallory is just awesome and take charge, and she's worked with us on a bunch of projects, and it was really great to bring her back for this.
Mallory Stanley and Ashley Undercuffler, both good people, are friends.
Dan Garland and Lisa Lee, they came out to set and were such great help. Casey plays Marvin, the accountant. Casey actually first auditioned for Herman's character.
We're about to go kick the shit out of a high school kid for $200.
But then we also had him read for Marvin, and he showed up and he was very game. He had a lot of fun ideas for the character.
And Clayton Jones, very talented guy, and it's funny because he's so well put together. Oh, okay, you want to play a role? It's kind of the opposite of that.
Me and my scene partner,
Ariana Jonay, she was able to speak so incredibly quickly. And then she added so much of her own personality.
Our friend Lauren Littman, my buddy Antoine.
Daniel played the fire assistant.
John Kent, and he's the nicest guy in the world. Donald Callahan, Linda.
Oh, wow.
My kids and being an idiot with my kids and making them laugh.
We've been able to show off a lot of our friends throughout this project. Are you gonna snort over there?
She's literally just sitting here. She's been here the whole time. She sits right here. She's just always chilling.